Melissa? Do I look like an ogre? I know, right? Fingers crossed. Oh, good, good. So, I know, instead of after. Um, I do, I did not get the check. I know the check is ready. I just need to get it. So, when we get, only all of it, but like, like fill it. Okay, good. Okay, we will be in touch base tomorrow. I'm gonna find out where the check is so that way I can take care of it. So awesome. Hello.
Okay, perfect.
So is it Kia that's going to be doing the nominating report?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go talk to him.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Is her stuff on my table?
I actually put it separate so that way.
So she can just-
Yeah, so she could just pull it and it doesn't take, in between those
Okay.
papers. So she'll just kind of pull it here and then she can just leave it at that page
Yeah.
and be good to go. Hey, how are you? Oh, okay. There we go. So that's the only thing that we had.
Does she read all this? Or no, I read
No,
All right, if everybody could please take a seat. All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Kingsley House Board of Directors, I'd like to welcome you to our 126th annual meeting and awards ceremony. I'm Richard Roth. I'm the board president. We'll begin our final board meeting of the 2021-2022 fiscal year and close with some recognition to all the great individuals who have helped Kingsley House through the years and really served our community. Before we begin, please join me in a moment of silence as we remember the passing of our two-time board member, businessman, and civic leader, Alan Phillipson, who we were last with at our annual meeting in 2021. And also to the staff and community who have lost loved ones in the past year. Thank you. I want to thank the members of the board's executive committee for taking on the important task of serving as this year's board's nominating committee. Kia Sherman, who is stepping in for Miles Thomas, who unfortunately is sick today, who is our nominating committee chair. Kia is our president-elect, soon-to-be president-elect, and she will come in and deliver the nominating report.
Thank you, Richard. Hopefully this is big enough, and it is, that I can read it. Great, without my reading glasses. So Kingsley House Board members, please refer to your proposed slate of officers, new and continuing board members handed to you when you arrived, on which the board will now vote to approve. So board members whose terms are expiring and are eligible for election to another 3-year term will be Shannon Joseph, Ralph Mahana, Zuela Martinez, and John Pitzer, all my favorites. Persons elected for a 1-year term as Head Start parent representative. Is it Jerninia Smith? Jerninia Smith. Persons being nominated for an initial 3-year term, Herman Franklin, Cindy McCurdy, and Charlotte Small-Page Saper, is that correct? Looking forward to meeting them. Officers being nominated for the first 1-year term, President Shamin Grant Saloy, yay. President-elect me, Kia Sherman, Treasurer Dominique Wilson. Sorry, I'm moving so fast we can't even clap for everyone. Vice President Ralph Mahana. Secretary, I'm just getting through this. Secretary Shannon Joseph, yay. And immediate past president, Richard Roth, the one and only. He deserves a big hand. Board members whose terms are not expiring and will continue on the board will be my dear friend Damon Carabee, Stephen Corbett, Tanya De Silva, Brendan Green, Yvette Jones, Christine Mitchell, Cleveland Spears, and Sue Williamson. Thank you all for serving this wonderful organization. May I have a motion to approve as presented the proposed slate of officers as well as the new and continuing board members? Anyone? It has to be a board member, not you. Okay, we'll do Yvette and then Ralph as the second. All right, anyone opposed? No. All right, let the minutes reflect that the slate of officers, new and continuing members, were approved as presented. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kia, for stepping in this afternoon. Again, I'd like to thank all of our board members for their commitment and the service that they give to this great organization. I'd also like to thank those board members who are rotating off for their service to our organization. That's Stephen Pate, Claudia Powell, and Miles Thomas. Thank you. This is my final report as board president as I reflect on how I sum up the impact of the agency over the last 125 years. It comes down to the excellence of our agency. Kingsley House's legacy is one of sustained excellence. We've delivered on our mission of educating children, strengthening families, and building communities since 1896. The staff and the leadership are always asking, what's next? What service mission or what can be improved for our community we serve, and how can we usher this to the future generations? One way we do this is through community advocacy and outreach. This year, leadership participated in a number of critical advocacy efforts, which will return great social and economic dividends for future generations. A few highlights include the approval of the millage for early childhood education. I will say this is a very impactful tax, property tax, and as a tax attorney, you know, I'm not always up for taxes, but this one I realized how important it was, and yeah, exactly. But I do want to thank everybody who had a role in that. But we had two board members who took a really forward role in that, and that was Kia Sherman and former board member Bill Hammock. So I want to thank them along with everybody else, and I see Hamilton here as well, who is a big part of that effort. So I just want to point that out. But anyway, so we were also very close to the passage of a dedicated trust fund for home and community-based services, similar to the state trust fund that we've established for nursing homes and the developmentally disabled. We'll continue our legislative efforts to push that forward for our vulnerable seniors. And Head Start is now taking a serious look at institutional rate increases to help raise teacher pay, which is, you know, these people dedicate their lives to the children, so they deserve to be compensated. So we just, again, we got to keep pushing forward. Again, as we continue our measure of excellence here at Kingsley House, I'd like to point out that we achieved national reaccreditation for the 7th time on the Council of Accreditation. The COA is like the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. It certifies that we deliver quality services to children, family, and seniors, and we utilize researched information, best practices, sound financial practices, relevant strategic planning, and effective risk management. I'd like to thank, it says to thank the board, I really want to thank the staff and our executive team for this. They did an excellent job, and for those of you who were at the meeting, I think it was the executive committee, with the accreditation folks, so they came in and they said, okay, we're going to meet with y'all, and then we're going to call you back in 2 days after we've reviewed everything. They left New Orleans by like 3 o'clock that day because we were that good. So I was really impressed of how prepared y'all were, and it was very satisfying. So again, thank you to the staff and Keith's leadership and Valerie. I know you're in here somewhere, but anyway, so thank you. So the other highlights include the Early Learning Services Program, which we continue raising the bar for establishing benchmarks to ensure each child leaves our program prepared for academic success in kindergarten and beyond. We're celebrating our 55th anniversary as a Head Start provider. In 1967, we launched one of the first Head Start programs in Louisiana to help young children from low-income families be prepared to succeed in school and promote their development through services, learning, health, and well-being. Today, along with our EduCare school and child care partner sites, we serve over 1,500 infants, toddlers, and preschool children in our early Head Start and Head Start program. In addition, at Kingsley House, the early learning service is the foundation of our whole family approach. It's the gateway to helping the entire family thrive, from a child to a parent to a grandparent. Our family advocates, who are located at all of our sites throughout the city, spend a lot of time building relationships with these families. This year, 70 Head Start families were linked into our growing Career Pathways program, successfully achieving skills to begin careers with higher wages, earning $14 to $16 an hour and benefits. This program has been a game changer for a lot of our families. We have a brief video on this. I don't see a video, but oh, it's over there.
With the Career Pathways program, around 2015, when we were doing our strategic planning, we were thinking about what were the gaps in services that our families were experiencing. And what we kept hearing, I need a better job.
Kingsley Connections is a workforce development program. We prepare our participants for careers in today's top industries. We look at career pathway opportunities so that when our participants complete the education and training, wherever they enter that particular career, there is the opportunity for advancement.
I was working at Walmart for 22 years and I felt myself not growing there. So when I got the opportunity with the outreach program, I felt like maybe this is my time. Maybe I have a shot at growing somewhere else. So I took that chance.
And so this whole family approach that we take, even as an organization, is all about family-led goals and ambitions.
At first, I worried, but once I started going to school and seeing how the money was rolling in and learning that the classes were paid for, and I was still earning and learning, and it was just, oh man, it was so easy. I was still able to do what I needed to do for my family.
So for me, it's really when people are able to do the things that they dream about, and we meet them where they dream as opposed to where they are, and we close that gap. And when that happens, I am so excited about those types of accomplishments and successes with our families.
This changed my life, and it changed my family's life. So, I mean, this can help any family.
In order for us to create equity in this community, individuals need someone to believe in them. And that is what we're here to do.
Overall, during the past year, the Career Pathway has provided job readiness and career training to over 154 participants. And just last month, 16 students successfully graduated from the first ever cohort of the Community Health Worker Apprentice Program. When Hurricane Ida struck, community and supportive services helped families put their pieces back together. We helped with rent, mortgage assistance, food, and utility support. We helped over 778 families through this crisis. Our Adult Day program is close to the hearts of many in our community. You're actually sitting in the municipal multi-purpose room where we conduct our Adult Day healthcare. As you can see, it is decorated in the Love Boat cruise ship theme. Every month, we have a fun theme where the participants enjoy social and entertainment activities, including Mardi Gras, Mayfest, and they create arts and crafts, which they actually sell. These mentally and physically stimulating activities help the participants successfully age in place at their home and give a break to their caregivers. And again, this is important, and that goes back to the funding. You know, we fund everything but adult day health care. You know, we fund these nursing homes, and people want to be with their families. And if we could get adult day health care funded at the legislative level, it would be less expensive, A. And B, it would be better for the families overall. So we continue seeing more and more medically fragile adults, and it was obviously a pause with COVID, but they were able to get it back up quickly, and our staff was fully vaccinated very quickly, which was great, and just proud of the way that they were able to get those seniors back in here in order to continue to serve them. We also have a summer camp here. This is the first time in 2 years of in-person programming. We're hosting Camp I Am, which is an academic and leadership development program for 6th through 8th graders. It offers STEM career explorations and math and reading academic instructions. Finally, when it comes to the future, there's nothing better than a capital campaign. So we are planning, you know that the growth of the highest quality and innovative programming exceeds our current funding. Our Kingsley House Board has been working hard behind the scenes to ensure that Kingsley House has the capacity, agility, and independence to meet the challenges that lie ahead. External events such as hurricanes, which are more and more, pandemics, hopefully we don't have another one of those, government funding and priority changes cannot be budgeted in advance. Sufficient reserves are required in order to respond immediately and have the impact on our families and the community. The Ensuring the Future and Preserving the Legacy campaign honors our rich 125-year past while preparing for a robust future. Our $2.5 million campaign has reached 60% of our goal during our quiet phase throughout the pandemic. You'll hear more about this in the coming weeks, but we're incredibly honored to announce that Ms. Phyllis Taylor and Ms. Gail Benson are serving as the honorary co-chairs of this campaign. So as I conclude my 2-year tenure as board chair and 10 plus, I guess I'm not concluding my 10 plus year term on the board, I got a couple more after that. But I just, I want to reflect back on a few things. Obviously, COVID had a big impact on our organization, like it did everybody in the United States. People lost loved ones. People had difficult times with school, difficult times with jobs. I'm very proud of how we reacted as an organization, and we're able to get masks and get open and get. It's very important for these children to be in school, and not just for the children, but also for the families. Other great kind of accomplishments. This was, I was joking with Bill earlier, this was the field of dreams when I stepped onto the board, and then through the Mr. Taylor's legacy and Mrs. Taylor's leadership, we were able to build this wonderful campus, the Taylor campus, and it was really exciting to see this come up, and it's a beautiful building, and it's been great for the neighborhood, and it's been great for the community. So I'm just very proud to be a small part of this journey, and as we continue with Shemin, who's going to take over and guide us in these next few years. So I'd like to take this great pleasure in welcoming Shemin to the stage, and I'm going to pass the gavel over to her. And I'm very confident that we will continue to grow under her leadership. I don't think you can take it. Maybe.
You good, Susie?
You want me to take it?
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. I just want to tell you how excited and honored I am to be leading this wonderful organization and following in the footsteps of such great people. And on behalf of the Board of Directors, I want to thank you for your leadership during this unprecedented time at the agency. Richard didn't get to have a gavel ceremony. It was a virtual passing of the gavel, and so I feel like I should give it to you, give it back to me. But seriously, thank you so much for all that you've done. I mean, he has been our pandemic president and served so fearlessly. When we've confronted the challenge of We've confronted the challenges of a global pandemic, a milestone anniversary campaign, a rebrand, refresh that has turned into a complete rebranding initiative. And it's an honor to have served on your executive committee. So I'll ask Keith Lederman, our CEO, to join us for some special remarks.
Thanks, Shemin. Thanks so much. And there's not much I can add to what you just expressed, Shemin. I mean, Richard, I want to personally thank you for being a kind of calm in the storm throughout this past 2 years. These have certainly been, as Shemin so aptly stated, very tumultuous times and lots of challenges that we faced over the last couple of years. But you have been a steady captain at the helm and just have been there for me. You all should know, by the way, that Richard and I meet every week, almost religiously, every Wednesday at 9. And thank you, Gene Preston, out there somewhere, for helping make all that happen on Richard's end. But having that kind of continuity of leadership and that just always providing an ear for me with my concerns, but always presenting great ideas and extraordinary leadership for not only the board, but for our entire organization. I just want to personally thank you on behalf of all of us for a fabulous term as our board president. And we have a little something that this has kind of been another unprecedented thing that's happened here at Kingsley House. So some of you may know and others may not, but our immediate past president, Miles Thomas, was a Clemson University graduate, and our current president, Richard Roth, is a Clemson University graduate. We've never had that kind of 2 in a row from, I know, for whatever that's worth. So So, yeah. So, we got you a little something that we know you like to give to Mom. Oh, love it. This is very heavy, but Richard gets his own humongous cooler. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right, am I back up? Okay, well, is there any new business? If not, I'd like ask for a motion to adjourn. So moved by Shemin. All right, well, hearing that, we're going to close the annual meeting, and then Shemin, you get to come. Yeah, I don't know why you left. You got to come back up for the annual award ceremony. So.
Thank you, Richard. For the record, Loyola University, New Orleans. Go Wolfpack. Thank you, Richard. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be with you today to serve as your Mistress of Ceremonies for the 126th annual meeting and award ceremony. Today, we recognize and celebrate the individuals and organizations that have made significant investments of time and energy over the last year for the greater good of children and families at Kingsley House and the greater New Orleans community at large. Yes, please, no Clemson gear. Thanks to our dedicated staff, partners, donors, volunteers, board of directors, each year Kingsley House equips more than 8,000 people with essential resources, tools, and support to help them reach their full academic, social, and economic potential. As my friend and Kingsley House Strategic and Impact Officer, Dr. Arnell Cozy says, it's what we do. Just prior to today's annual meeting, we celebrated one of Louisiana's most fervent advocates for young children and their families. In recognition of how instrumental she is and has been in working toward the wholesale reform of Louisiana's early learning system, enabling access for tens of thousands more under-resourced young children and their families to publicly supported, high-quality early care and education, as well as being a champion for enhanced supports and professional development opportunities for our state's early learning workforce. Today, we unveiled the Melanie Bronfin Professional Development Institute for Early Learning. This naming effort was organized by several of our 125th anniversary capital campaign supporters to honor Melanie's legacy, advocacy, and leadership for over a quarter of a century, giving a powerful voice to infants and toddlers to design Louisiana's critically acclaimed early childhood quality rating and improvement system and nationally recognized package of school readiness tax credits. And not to mention her founding in 2013 of the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children, Louisiana's leading independent source of data, research, and public policy proposals on issues related to young children. Additionally, we will establish a Melanie Bronfin Advocacy for Children Award to be presented at the annual meeting in coming years to continue to recognize Melanie's incredible work. Melanie also served on Kingsley House Board of Directors for 11 years, including her tenure as board president from 2012 to 2014. She is a recipient of Kingsley House's Libby Milton Champion for Children Award, as well as innumerable other awards and recognitions for her extraordinary contributions to making our state a far better place for its most vulnerable and at-risk young children and families. We felt there was no better person to present this year's Libby Milton Champion for Change Awards to both an education leader here at Kingsley House, as well as to an external coalition that helped keep that has kept the importance of early childhood education front and center on our local, state, and national level. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Melanie Bronfman.
This a little something for you, Melanie.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations. There, I can hold those for you while you do this.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a total surprise for me, that just happened before this meeting, so thank you to everyone who made that happen. So thanks for your kind words, and to the entire Kingsley House Board of Directors for its unwavering commitment to children and families in our community. It is such an honor to be with you all here at Kingsley House today. It is truly one of my most favorite places in the world, and I'm honored to present the Libby Milton Champion for Children Award. This award is named for Elizabeth Libby Milton, who served as a member of the Kingsley House staff leadership team for 50 years and dedicated her life's work to improving the well-being of children and families. The award recognizes members of our community who have made significant accomplishments on behalf of children. I'm honored to be a past recipient, and it gives me great pleasure to present this award to some incredibly deserving individuals today. Siobhan Hampton. A quote by Joseph Wirthlin reads, "Kindness is a passport that opens doors and fashions friends. It softens hearts and molds relationships that can last a lifetime." This quote exemplifies the persona and essence of Kingsley House's Director of Early Learning Services. Siobhan Hampton, a selfless individual who models a children and families first philosophy, while ensuring that the day-to-day programming operations run smoothly and efficiently. When conflicting priorities present themselves, Siobhan calmly and confidentially creates an effective solution. Siobhan began her 15-year tenure at Kingsley House as a teacher, then as a supervisor, before taking over the helm as the Director of Early Learning Services, where she has been instrumental in growing the program. She has created lifelong bonds and attained admirable benchmarks of success for her staff and students. And because of her high personal and professional standards, she is respected by her staff, organizational leadership, and peers in the community. Siobhan is a hands-on director who often can be seen carrying a table for an event or walking with a child for redirection and soothing, while allowing the teacher to continue teaching and engaging with the other children. When extenuating family situations arise, she is swift to convene all departments to develop a solution to assist. In the face of uncertainty and seemingly insurmountable challenges, she is resilient and visionary leader. For all of these things and more, on behalf of the recommendation of the Kingsley House Board of Directors, we congratulate Siobhan Hampton as a recipient of the 2022 Libby Milton Champion for Children Award. Siobhan, not surprisingly, could not be here today as she is busy working away. She is at a national educational conference, so we accept this award on her behalf. Yes for NOLA Kids. Over the past few years, a coalition of early childhood education proponents organized a cross-section of grassroots support among community, city, and legislative leaders and challenged voters to go to the polls and vote yes for NOLA Kids. The Yes for NOLA Kids campaign articulated
that more than 8,300 low-income children in New Orleans under age 4 are unable to access an affordable, quality early childhood education program, and drove home the key facts that investment in early care and education is proven to reduce poverty, increase high school and college graduation rates, reduce involvement in criminal justice system, and increase lifetime earnings. In April, the voters went to the polls and responded with a resounding yes to the Early Child and Education Millage, which will significantly increase access to vital and free early childhood programs across the city, from roughly 150 seats today to more than 1,000 young children annually for the next 20 years. Equally important, the revenue generated by this millage will leverage another $21 million annually in state matching funds, enabling the creation of an additional 1,000 seats for our city's infants and toddlers. This funding, which will amount to between $400 and $800 million in total over the next 2 decades, will also allow for center expansion and startup grants, family outreach and enrollment coordination, and teacher training and professional development. City Council person at large, Helena Moreno, called the victory a game changer for the children of New Orleans, and it definitely is. The saying, "It takes a village," is often quoted when it comes to talking about raising children. The Yes for NOLA Kids Coalition helped congregate that village into action for future generations to get the lifelong benefits from the enrichment that early childhood education can provide. Upon the recommendation of the Kingsley House Board of Directors, it is my distinct honor to present the Libby Milton Children's Award to Yes for NOLA Kids. Please welcome their representatives, Bill Hammock, a Kingsley House past board president, current Kingsley House Foundation board member, and one of New Orleans' most successful entrepreneurs, Hamilton Simons Jones, and co-founder of consulting firm Converge, Sharonda Williams. I don't know if Sharonda's here today, is she? Oh, good. General Counsel and Director of Government Affairs for Loyola University, and Tyrone Walker, President for Policy, Strategic Partnerships, and Development with Urban League. I'm sorry, let's all applause now.
Thank you. Do we need to? Whew, so I just want to say a few words of gratitude. First, Melanie, what they didn't say in your accolades, I'm going to cry talking about it, is the generation of leadership you've developed as advocates behind you. So as you retire, you know you have an incredible group of people that would not be in this work if it were not for you, so thank you. I also just want to say, so Tyrone was our campaign manager and our strategist. But really what we discovered along the way is all we really needed to do was activate the Kingsley House family. And, you know, this work began, you know, I think about Jen and, you know, and Keith as the chair of the New Orleans Early Education Network, you know, that set a vision back in 2015 about every child having access to quality early childhood education in this community, and set a plan that we were able to, with United Way and with Ron McLean at Institute of Mental Hygiene, to start to organize a coalition beginning with the New Orleans Campaign for Grade Level Reading, to be able to advocate to go make that plan happen. And so if you told us 5 years ago this would have happened, I don't know that any of us would have believed you. But we now in New Orleans actually have one of the largest and most comprehensive local investments in the nation in early care and education for infants and toddlers. And so there's too many people to thank, from Richard's op-ed to Bill's tireless leadership of this campaign. I'm not going to be able to name everybody, but there were, and so many of the Kingsley House board members were on our advisory committee. Kia, Dominique, Miles, who's not here, really helping turn everybody out to understand what this is and make sure folks got out and vote. And in the end, there were 15,092 voters that said yes, and that's 61% of the people that voted. And that's what mattered. So just want to say thank you to the entire Kingsley House family. We could not have done this without you, and it is such an inspiration to be continuing to work with you all to move forward access for quality early care and education in our community.
And I just want to add, it wouldn't have happened with these folks. These are great, great advocates, and they know how to run a campaign. So.
Melody, Bill, Hamilton, Sharonda, Tyrone, thank you all for your commitment to the children and families of New Orleans and your tireless efforts in getting this game-changing proposition passed. Yes, it's good. Applause is great. It is now my privilege to present the McMain Citizenship Award, presented to a person who has gone above and beyond to support Kingsley House and our community. This year's award goes to Darvin Wallace. Darvin is the adult daycare activity leader and captain of this ship, here we're on the Lido deck, that we are currently on board. As activity coordinator, Darvin keeps this adult daycare recreation room and its participants engaged, amused, and artfully entertained, let me say. On a daily basis, he is fostering relationships with program participants and their caregivers, creating and carrying out an entertaining calendar of events for our seniors, veterans, and medically fragile adults, and sometimes negotiating peace talks with lovable but occasionally strong-willed adult daycare participants. So he's going to add mediator to his resume. None of this is ever done without a smile on his face. If there's turbulence afoot, you never know it from his calm and charismatic demeanor. Above and beyond seems to be his baseline standard. Anything less is not in his playbook. When the pandemic resulted in the shuttered center-based operations for adult daycare, Darvin found creative ways to deliver personal connections to our seniors, creating and executing virtual sessions that included devotion, gardening activities, and even virtual fitness activities. He became a video editor too, putting together tape messages to keep participants engaged and inspired. He also helped orchestrate food deliveries, wellness checks, and drive-by salute ceremony for all the veterans enrolled in the program. Darvin is one of our greatest ambassadors, sharing our mission with so many individuals and organizations throughout the city and region as he conducts outreach with outside service organizations to plan field trips and in-person experiences at the Center for our seniors, veterans, and medically fragile adults. And let me tell you, you're not living your best life if you have not come here and played bingo or done a line dance or been at the Mardi Gras ball. You have to, and the Mayfest. I came late one year, everything was sold out. These seniors are entrepreneurs. When Darvin is out in the community, he always talks about the good work of Kingsley House. And like I stated earlier, he's always done this with a smile on his face. While these last 2.5 years have tested us all, Darvin has not only persevered, he's led others across the battlefield with charm, grace, and determination. Please give a warm welcome to Darvin Wallace as he comes to the stage to accept his award. left side. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited and honored and emotional. I just want to thank this great organization. I love working here. It doesn't feel like a job. It's my passion. It's my life. This is my family. I want to thank the board. I want to thank my mother and my friends for being here tonight with me. I also want to dedicate this award to two of my biggest supporters and cheerleaders who are no longer with us. That's Ms. Cora Chambers, who we lost in April, and Paul Matoya, who we lost in March 2020. I hope that I made you guys proud. Again, thank you for everything, and good night.
Darvin, thank you for all that you do. Certainly appreciate it. I've personally attended numerous events here in adult daycare, and I can tell you this room hums with happiness every time I visit, thanks to Darvin and the entire adult daycare administration and direct support team. The Stern Award is named after the late, great Maurice Stern, former president of the Kingsley House Board of Directors and an enthusiastic supporter for more than 50 years. This award is presented to a first-term board member or board members who have made outstanding contributions to the Kingsley House and the Board of Directors. This year, it was impossible for the selection committee to choose only one board member, and so we've opted to present the award to two first-term board members. Since joining Kingsley House's board, Shannon Joseph and Ralph Mahana have been invaluable assets, and as we've navigated a global pandemic, as well as Hurricane Ida this past year. Shannon Joseph, go Wolfpack, began her board service in 2019. She currently serves as the National Director of Nursing Workforce Pipeline at Ascension. In her former role at Ochsner Health and as Director of Talent Management, Workforce Development, Shannon facilitated the relationship between Kingsley House and Ochsner for our Career Pathways program, giving rise to individuals being trained during this pandemic for patient care technicians and community health workers. She currently serves on the board's Financial and Asset Management Committee and was recently elected to serve as board secretary for the upcoming fiscal year. Shannon has dedicated additional time to serve on an ad hoc development committee, establishing relationships with Black-owned businesses, and will be instrumental in bringing a very special development opportunity to the agency in 2023. Ralph Mahana is the general manager of the Windsor Court Hotel and an active member of the development and the executive committees. For the past 2 years, he has served as secretary of the board of directors and is elected to serve as vice president of the board in the fiscal year 2023. Ralph co-chaired our annual fundraiser in 2021, which was our first in-person event after the onset of the pandemic, hosted the board strategic retreat, and facilitated holiday gift donations during the pandemic, and serves on our rebranding committee. We are tremendously grateful to Shannon and Ralph for their active commitment to the work of the board and ongoing agency activities and events. Upon the recommendation of the Kingsley House Board of Directors, it is my honor to present the Stern Award to my fellow board members and friends, Shannon Joseph and Ralph Mahana.
I will keep this very brief, but I practice hospitality in my day job, and I think that the entire hospitality community could learn from the Kingsley House organization, because hospitality is all about genuine care. And there is no organization, from staff to board, to past board members, to the whole Kingsley House family, that exudes that more than this organization. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. Thank you for welcoming me, and I am just so humbled by this award and thankful to share it with Shannon. And thanks for all the genuine care and difference that all of you make, not only in all the Kingsley House participants' lives, but in each other's lives. So thank you all, friends, and here's to a great future with Kingsley House.
I was apprehensive about getting in front of the mic because normally in my day job, I talk a whole lot, but this is so humbling for me. And while I'm sitting there listening to everyone talk, I told Arnell I'm just so emotional about everything that's happening in this room. The biggest thing that I can say to you guys is thank you so much for allowing me to be part of it. So thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Ralph, for all that you do. Oops, sorry about that. The next award is the most prestigious award that the Kingsley House presents. The Beverly Warner Award is given in recognition to those that exhibit dedication and commitment to the children and families of Kingsley House and our community. This year, we have co-recipients of the award, and I could not think of two women who are more deserving, Mrs. Gail Benson and Mrs. Phyllis Taylor. Both have steadfastly committed to the mission and vision of Kingsley House, and their incredible generosity to so many more of our area's nonprofits and educational institutions have enriched the lives of so many in our community. Here at Kingsley House, we are the proud home of the Gail and Tom Benson Community Center on our historic main campus. The center serves as a community and recreational hub for preschoolers, youth, and families. It is also home to our highly impactful male engagement program, as well as significant community events such as the recent HBCU All-Star Basketball Game with area middle school students. Thank you, Mrs. Benson, for your wonderful support. And of course, you are seated in the adult daycare great room of our Patrick F. Taylor Intergenerational Campus. This purpose-built facility serving infants and toddlers, as well as our aging seniors, medically fragile adults, and veterans, is celebrating 7 years of being open to the community. This 24,000 square foot state-of-the-art campus provides specialized programs daily for more than 200 children and adults. We owe the success of our expansion to the incredible Taylors. Thank you, Mrs. Phyllis Taylor. We are truly blessed and honored to have Phyllis Taylor's and Gail Benson's support, not only of our current programming, but also their commitment to the future of our organization's sustainability and growth. This year, they both serve as honorary co-chairs of our 125th anniversary capital campaign, Ensuring the Future, Preserving the Legacy, a campaign to ensure we have the capacity, agility, and independence to always adapt to our community's most pressing needs and implement transformative solutions. On behalf of Trinity Episcopal Church, of which the Reverend Dr. Beverly Warner was the 18th rector from 1893 to 1910, and founder of Kingsley House, and upon the recommendation of the Kingsley House Board of Directors, we take great pleasure in presenting to Mrs. Gail Benson and Mrs. Phyllis Taylor the Beverly Warner Award for their dedication and commitment to the children and families of Kingsley House and our community. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mrs. Gail Benson and Mrs. Phyllis Taylor to accept the Beverly Warner Award.
I never miss an opportunity. So from the very first, well, first I have to say congratulations to Gail and to all of you, but particularly to Gail because she has stepped up at a time when she really didn't have to and has become, the Benson name has become, you know, the ultimate in our community, and it's made an incredible difference for so many organizations, including Kingsley House. But, you know, I go back a long way with Kingsley House in many respects, and from the first moment I stepped foot on this campus, I knew that this was an organization to be reckoned with. I was amazed by all the good that it had done and that it was continuing to accomplish. It's been an organization that has a very unique ability, an ability to change and adapt to the needs of the times and address the challenges of our community. From a facility that was originally meant to assist the immigrants that came to our shores, it has expanded its services to care for infants, to engage in early childhood development, and at the same time has become a haven for our elderly, where they can come here, receive daycare in beautiful surroundings. Someone once made a comment to me that Kingsley House provided care from birth to death, and that's no exaggeration. Just to provide the many services would be exceptional. But Kingsley House has done more than that, so much more. It leads the way on how to deliver those services and is a model for other like organizations, often giving its guidance to establish and improve the operations of other nonprofits. And a great example of that I happen to be familiar with is their Head Start and Early Head Start. Of course, I'm extremely proud of this Patrick F. Taylor campus. And I can remember well when Patrick received this award back in 2002 to move forward with the Kingsley House vision. And we thought, you know, in a matter of a few years, this campus would be a reality. But there were obstacles that produced many challenges as we went forward. And I'm sure that, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm sure I doubted that it would ever be a reality. But that was not the case. Despite those many hurdles, this organization was steadfast as it faced those challenges, and they never gave up. There was the loss of the federal funds because we were too slow to gain local approval. There was the changing of the use of the land from a lease to a purchase. There was Katrina. And then most amazing at all to me was the archaeological discovery when we actually started to dig into the ground to start the construction. And then, of course, let's not forget, you need to get the financing. I'm very touched and most appreciative to receive this award. And as Kingsley House celebrates 125 years of operation, I keep thinking, if only I could be around to see what's going to happen in the next 125 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much to everyone. And this is just so special, and I'm just so honored to be with my friend Phyllis. She's been a great friend for a long time.
Thank you to our leading ladies, Mrs. Phyllis Taylor and Mrs. Gail Benson. this concludes our program. Thank you for coming, and thank you for your continued support of our mission to educate children, strengthen families, and build community. Refreshments are served. Refreshments are served on the Lido deck. Refreshments are served on the Lido deck. I love it.